Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jimmy Webb Jr. And in this video, I am very excited to get to talk to one of my good friends, Mr. Derek Ragan, who has been in real estate for a couple years now. And we're going to talk about why he made the move to eXp. And you're going to want to stick around because the reason might not be what you think. So we're going to get after it right now. All right, so we're here. Mr. Derek Ragan, how are you, my friend?
What's up, Mr. Jimmy? Hey, brother, pleased and honored to be speaking with you today. Appreciate the opportunity to hop on the mic and really just kind of chop it up about what we have going on and what we've been doing over the last couple of months, man. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. I'm super excited to, kind of introduce you to everybody. You and I have been friends. We go way back, man.
Yeah,
As
at least probably 7 years now. Yeah.
Something like that, as young entrepreneurs, man, just getting going. But we've obviously stayed in touch over the years, done some cool things together, and so. But now we're talking about eXp, and so when did you decide to make the move to eXp, and kind of like maybe share about the first time you heard about it?
Yeah, for sure.
How, did you come instantly or did it take a while? Tell me that story.
Well, yeah, man. So a little bit about a little background on what we've been doing in the real estate industry. Me and Travis Plum, my business partner, for those who don't know, we've been doing digital marketing for about 4 or 5 years now. We started off in the real estate space, working out with realtors, specifically lenders, loan officers, doing buyer leads on Facebook and Instagram, and really went through what I call the school of hard knocks, man. We really just got in the trenches and really started, learning the most developing tech out there, right? So of course it's ever evolving. So, we continue to work with different brokerages, partnering up, giving leads to their teams, helping them out scale, talk about CRMs. And man, let me tell you, for the first couple of years, I have an EMS background. I'm a paramedic, and one of the quotes we say is it's like drinking water out of a fire hose, man. And that's exactly what this first part of my career before real estate was. Because, from what you'll hear from a lot of experienced realtors, man, is it's not the best realtor who wins, it's the best marketer, right? And this business, we're in sales, and so it's all about getting your voice out there, connecting with the community, and having them register you, staying top of mind. So we're doing digital marketing. We were getting a lot of feedback from agents out there, and we didn't know too much about the commission aspect until we really dove in deeper. But our marketing was only as good as the other agent on the other side of the phone making the calls. And right. You hear about Zillow leads, you hear about Realtor.com leads, you hear about Facebook and Instagram, Google, et cetera, et cetera. Well, a lead is a lead, but if you talk to them and I talk to them, depending on how our conversation flowed, how we connected, things like this, I may have a higher closing percentage. So we decided to put the rubber to the road, in a sense, and really kind of dive in ourselves to see what the hype was about. Are they good? Are they bad? Or is this just what people were saying, right? So, of course, I went to real estate school first, got my real estate license. We kicked off, continued to focus on our marketing aspect. And through that, we partnered up with a couple different brokerages. It was cool and everything. But then I was like, man, I really want to start building a team. About 2 or 3 years ago was when we first heard about it. Me and Travis, but again, I think in this business, in this world, opportunity comes, but you have to be open to opportunity. And for us, that wasn't where our focus was. We were so one-sided in that aspect initially when it came, and we had the opportunity to get in. We didn't know much about it. You're just closed off sometimes, and unfortunately, that's just what it is in life. But we continued to go through it. Time went on. About a year and a half, almost 2 years later, me and Travis again were presented the opportunity. Really started linking up with Michael Reese. Hearing about what they were doing over here at eXp, we saw them get in. They were actually the ones who introduced us the opportunity at first. And like I said, we were focused on some other things, so we couldn't connect initially. But we circled back, and after we saw what these guys had done in 3 years, let me tell you, I bet Travis would say this too. We definitely wish we would have got in at that first opportunity, that first chance, because time flies and a lot changes. So those guys crushed the game, and they continue to crush the industry with everything they've done, and they really coached us in a way, right? And they're mentors to us to really discuss about the aspect of what's called a vector. And so me and Travis were doing both companies, um, making a lot of action. We were very busy, but the momentum of progression towards a common goal wasn't there. He was going this way and I'm going this way, and we're trying to find synchronicity within the middle, right? So,
Right.
after talking to Reese, he told us about some of his experiences, how he built his real estate marketing company, how he built his real estate brokerage, and how there was now an opportunity to be able to vector. And when you vector, it's when you create a common goal, that by achieving that common goal, it helps you achieve these two goals, right? And so
A
he
North
told us about
Star.
this. Yeah, yeah. So he told us about this opportunity to really position ourselves to work together in a way where, again, accomplishing this bigger goal, we would both win, uh, and win in all of our goals. And so that's exactly what we dove into and did. Travis recently just got his Texas license about 2 months ago. So we, after about 6 months in, or about 7 months in, of course, COVID hit this past year, right? So we were about to kick off all of our live events and really dive into, double your business real estate training classes for other agents out there, and apply our knowledge to what we've learned in the marketing industry to help them grow their business, right? And so COVID hit, everything went virtual, everything went digital, which is cool. We're back in the action. Like I said, Travis got his license 2 months ago. This is when we really have doubled down, was really the beginning of the year, to really take on the opportunity we've had at hand. And I'm excited to say within 2 months, we now have 60 agents in our organization. So, from 0 to 60 real quick, you can say, right?
How about that?
Yeah,
How
man,
about that?
it's exciting. It's I'm excited to see what's to come. Especially, like I said, I wish we could have jumped on this 3 years ago.
Man, so I guess what was the holdup in the beginning?
Like I said, we just weren't open to opportunity at first. We had a lot on our plate. We
Other
heard a
things
lot of
are a priority?
stigma. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I think initially it's you hear things, you hear noise, but you don't really hear the sound. You really don't hear the message, right? So you hear a lot of noise, but you don't hear the message. And I think that's exactly what happened. We heard the noise. We saw some of these agents who weren't necessarily the best agents, and it kind of just created an impression that we didn't know enough about to pursue more, and we didn't have anyone we trusted in the business. And that's really the thing. We didn't have relationships with someone within eXp that we knew well enough to really open up, I think. So yeah, I think that would definitely be one of the biggest hesitations. But this is a relationship business, and that's what pursued us to eventually learn more.
Man, so there are a lot of, misconceptions around EXP. What would you say are some of the biggest holdups for people who are still on the fence? And what would you say to those people?
Man, I think for some of us, man, we just know too much for our own good sometimes. We think we're experts, and it's easy to have, the idea of, oh, I know this or I know that, without actually being honest with yourself and saying, did I really give it a shot? Did I really learn, what they're talking about, or did I just blow it off? And that sometimes, like I said, we're too smart for our own good in that sense. And so once we were in the position, and I like to say a lot of people either change for one of two reasons: inspiration or desperation. So one, they can be inspired by maybe the Ferraris, the nice lifestyle, and they say, man, I can't wait to have that in my life, and I want that. Or two, the pain of being where they're at outweighs the pain of change. And at that point, they're so desperate. And so I'm sure it was a little bit of both, that really kind of opened our eyes for me and Travis. But I think the biggest thing, man, was we were in a very transactional mindset, from, working with realtors on the front end, getting a new realtor on board, still transactional businesses in real estate or retail real estate for the aspect. It's, if you don't make a sale, you don't eat. And
Right.
it's, that can be very draining at times, right? Like you're like I said, you're very busy, but you may not be getting a lot done because, again, once you stop moving, that revenue wheel stops spinning. And so, going back to the question, I think, what's the biggest hesitation? Man, I think people just got to get out of their own way. And once they put their pride down and they open their ears up to opportunity, it'll speak to them. And when they see it and they really get a good understanding of it, there's no unseeing it. I like to say, a mind once it expanded can never contract to its original state. So that's a prime the mind quote for you, Jimmy. You can go ahead and take that one to the books, baby.
I love that, man. I'll give you another one that piggybacks off of your message. Alvin Toffler, said the illiterate of the 21st century won't be those who can't read or write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn again. As you said, I mean, people they think they know everything about everything. And, that's not necessarily the case sometimes. And so,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And man, really, like I said, I think it's just the ability to always be learning. And if we always remain students in the game, there's always something to learn. This life is always ever changing, right? So I think if we're just open to more knowledge, there's a one I just heard the other day. It says, knowledge is the bridge to a better place. And if we understand that and really understand that by learning on a continuous basis, man, it's only going to make us better. And I think at that one point, man, we're closed off, that we weren't open to the opportunity, but inspiration or desperation, man. And we were inspired by what these guys had done in 3 years, and we were desperate for that for ourselves, and so we took action.
so what was the most attractive thing about the EXP model to you?
Woo, man, let's narrow it down, right? So let's pull out the bag of goodies. Where does it start? So we can talk commissions. Those who are producers who get it, they get it. If you're really doing 40 plus homes a year, if you're out there making moves from a commissional standpoint, we've been at different brokerages that maybe did 0% fees, right? They say you get 100% of your commissions, but charge you $500 per transaction. Well, in an 80/20 brokerage, doesn't matter which one you're with, most of them have caps. Well, ours at eXp is about $16,000. So here in this market, it's about 8 transactions, give or take. So once you cap, after that 8th transaction, one, you never have to pay another dime again, right? Where if you're a producer, like I said, you're still paying that $500 every single time. And so in the long run, if you're a go-getter and you're a hustler, you're going to end up paying more with these other brokerages that sound enticing at first, right? But so commission standpoints, man, it was great. You get a pretty low cap. You get all the resources, the back end support. A lot of brokers that we talk to, they're trying to scale, but the thing is, they're putting all this weight on their own shoulders from the support that they have to provide to their team for marketing aspects, to legalities, to contract help, to resources, systems, and processes. I mean, you're talking CRMs, drip campaigns, websites, pixels, right? You're probably trying to teach your agents how to market, all while doing contract assistance. So it's a lot. And for me, I'm all about leverage. And so what we focus on here in the Honey Badger group are HLAs. What are the highest leverage activities we can do? So aside from commissions, the mentorship, the coaches, learning from some of the best realtors in the entire country, if not the entire world, all at the tips of our fingers, right? I mean, we log into the world. They have live trainings going on every single day. We log into our Honey Badger group. We got guys like Michael Reese, Jay Kinder, Chuck Fazio, recruitment agent pros in the game like GoGo, to Chauncey Pham, all these up and comers. Shout out Chasen, Jay Miles, all these people who are killing it using the social media aspect. So that leads me to the next point. Leverage within the business model. One thing I learned from these guys is, a good business model will trump any good business strategy. And it takes, from our experience, Jimmy, we were in a direct sales business, 7, 8 years ago, and we saw people making 10, 15, $20,000 a month passively. We were hooked in the sales industry, but it's the ability to know that you can make money in your sleep. And as common as we think that is passive income or residual income, a lot of people have still never even heard of it. A lot of people don't understand the concept of it. We talk rich dad, poor dad, right? Well, I was living in that poor dad situation, and no takeaways to anybody else. It's just I wasn't exposed to financial literacy. And until you understand and are aware of that world, your mind doesn't really comprehend it. And so when we, Jimmy, doing our sales industry in the back, we learned more about passive income. Diving into eXp, it's the first of its kind, really, to integrate direct marketing and real estate. But unlike, like when we think about a traditional brokerage, you have the guy at the top who's getting paid the most money, and everybody else under him is paying to that company. So what are you receiving in the back end? With eXp, at least they'll give us stock, right? For our producers, they give us that $16,000 back in stock, which 3 years ago it was trading at, I think, like $5 to $6, something like that. Right now it's trading for probably 120 to, I think, maybe 140 is where I may have seen it. So somewhere in that range. But either way, you're winning hand over fist. So talk about a retirement fund.
Yeah, I think one thing that, and I just made a video the other day about how if you are a top producer, like if you're a hustler, if you're a go-getter, really, if you're at eXp, really, if you like think about it, you're on a 100-0 split from day one. If you're like no questions asked going to hit icon, right?
Yeah, and not only that, Jimmy, for our team leaders out there, people who already are team builders, people who are already brokers, bringing your team over will this is a real estate business, and in real estate, everything's negotiable. We have all sorts of different programs that can help leverage that cap for that broker, for that team lead. So, it's not always a $16,000 cap. We're open to work something out for those who, have built out infrastructure. But they understand, again, what every other broker understands is, it's only so scalable by yourself. You're limited to your regional market. And I think, Jimmy, that was probably the most enticing thing for me after we were talking about the commission splits. We're talking about I don't know if we talked about the health benefits, but we'll throw that in there too. We got those.
Don't forget about those.
Yeah, so we're talking about the training, the mentors. But for me, I think it was the aspect to understand that we can build an international real estate business here. And, versus traditional brokerages from Keller Williams to Century 21 to Remax, you cannot build a team like you can within this organization. If I want to go recruit here, it's only people locally. Unless I built a brick and mortar, unless I got my license in another state, unless I, went and put the time to build those systems and processes out in another community and hire a business manager to manage those people, it's not a scalable business model. But with this opportunity we have with eXp, it's an international, worldwide, multiple continent opportunity here. We're talking Hong Kong, we're talking Australia, we're talking India, Mexico, Canada, Brazil, Puerto Rico. I mean, the list continues to go on. And so when it's like, for me, I'm a visionary, I'm a dreamer, I'm a big believer. And I knew I wanted to do something bigger than just my local market. And let me tell you, to be able to say I got a team in Canada growing, I have a team in Florida, to New York, to Michigan, to Pennsylvania, and everywhere in between, that is what fires me up. And so, when we talk about what was it out of everything, the most enticing thing, man, the ability to be bigger than myself, be bigger than Dallas, and to be worldwide. I think what's that singer, Pitbull? He's like Tony Robbins. They're going to these things around the world, and he talks about being around the world, and it's just like that's exactly what this opportunity was, an opportunity to go international.
That's so cool, man. So what would you say about people who think it might be too late
Oh
to
man,
join eXp?
get off that horse and get another one. Right here we have the opportunity of a lifetime. Within the past 3 years, we're one of the fastest, if not the fastest, international growing to fastest growing company here in the United States. As far as in the last 3 years, we went from 3,000 agents, maybe four, to roughly about 45,000 is where we're at now. So when we think about speed of growth, man, we are just blowing through the roof. Now, for those who think, oh, it's too late, well, in comparison to this, here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, we have about 65,000 licensed realtors. In all of eXp, we have 45,000 agents. There is tons of opportunity here, tons of opportunity, right? I mean, Keller Williams probably has 100,000 agents. So when we think about the progression of how young this company is, what we're doing from an international standpoint, it's like technology, right? These things happen faster and evolve faster these days than they ever did before. And smaller, innovative companies have seen blooming growth like we have because we've been flexible to change. We had the opportunity of being smaller to, move in the pockets and saw what worked and didn't work. Bring on guys like Michael Valdez, who led Sotheby's International. We brought him onto our international team or our global expansion team. He leads that department. And so he's doing what he does best. He's going around the world. He's building relationships. We're in Paris, France, like that Eiffel Tower right behind you. It's like,
I'm
and
in
that's what's
Paris right
so
now. What are you talking about? That's
exactly.
out my window.
Oh, is that the window?
Yeah,
So, I think to these guys, understand the number one earner in the company has not yet joined the company. In
yeah.
an MLM or a direct marketing or a sales opportunity, most of these companies last 40, 50 years. We're at 11, 10, 11 years here in the company. All of our growth has happened in the last 3 years, but that's nothing in comparison of what we're going to see. We talk about, Michael Reese and Jay Kinder, those guys recruited 150 people in 3 years. Now the number one recruiters in the business right now are Chauncey Pham, GoGo. They're getting 100 people in a year because of social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And so we talk about the leverage. We have platforms out there which are blowing up like TikTok and Clubhouse, and more platforms are always being developed. So I think as the next generations continue to evolve into the real estate business, man, it's only getting started. And so, like I said, if you think it's too late, get off that horse. Come on, get on this one because we got a hell of a ride ahead of us, man. And I'm excited to see it come.
So where is your vision? Where do you see yourself 24 months from now?
Yeah, sitting in Puerto Rico with my boy Michael Reese and Jake Kinder.
We're all gonna be neighbors down there, man.
Hey, yeah, to say the least. 24 months from now, I would like to see our organization top 2,000 agents within our org. Now, that's more of a realistic standpoint for me. Those are hard goals and hard numbers that we've talked about, which doesn't take much. We got 60 agents in 2 months. This is a compounding thing. This is everything. You don't have to go out and recruit 2,000 people. I think this is something that a lot of people need to understand is, everyone has their different strengths. You're going to find leverage in talking to brokers and team leaders and bringing them on their teams. But, it's just understand you don't have to go and recruit 1,000 people if you can find 10 people that can recruit 100. And there's always other people out there that can do things better than us. There are better recruiters out there. There are better agents out there. There's always someone bigger and better. I don't look to say I'm the best of the best, but I sure know when to partner with the best of the best. I know, again, in this business, it's relationships over revenue. And people are going to join you and resonate to you because the way you make them feel, the way you treat them. And so, we set those as the foundation of what we build our business upon is doing good business, treating people right, getting them great deals on their properties, helping them out, helping other agents build their brand. And so from 2 years from now, 2,000 agents in the organization sitting on the beach in Puerto Rico and, at a passive income of over $125,000 a month.
I like that. Yeah, I think.
You know, the way, Jimmy, I think even if in 2 years from now I'm only at half of that and I'm only at $60,000 residually a month, I think we're gonna be all right. Let me tell you.
Man, I tell you, you haven't been to Puerto Rico yet, have you?
No, man, I've been a lot of places, but Puerto Rico ain't one. But it's on the list, that's for sure.
Well, I've got I'm actually um doing a similar interview with Michael tomorrow, so I'm gonna uh talk about getting out there again. I was
Oh
out
man,
there at the beginning
tickets
of
are
the
cheap.
year. Man, you can get them for 100. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked with gas going up, with oil going up
Well,
lately, but
gas and COVID's opening back up and everything like that. Tickets are on the rise, right? They got
yeah,
to catch
we'll
up. They
see.
got some work to do.
But yeah, we'll have to coordinate, man. We'll get the
I,
get
I
the
look
crew
forward
down
to
there.
it, Jimmy. I look forward to it, man. I appreciate you having me on your call today. If any agents have any questions, if y'all are talking to Jimmy, y'all been on the fence, y'all have thought about joining EXP, maybe y'all just first time hearing about it. Let me tell you, this is the opportunity that you don't want to miss. And if y'all have any questions, y'all need some advice from someone who's dived in, been in the trenches on the marketing aspect, real estate aspect. Feel free to give me a shout. Jimmy
Yeah,
tagged
how
my
do
information
people
below.
get a hold of you?
Y'all follow me on Instagram at iamderekragan, PT and Realty Group. Any of these pages, locating lost cleanest. Just I'm sure Jimmy will post some links as well.
Yeah, we'll
Just
put it in
give
the
us a follow,
description.
guys. Like I said, if y'all been on the fence, and we've all been there, but let me tell you, you don't make any progressive moves by just sitting on the sidelines. And so if you want things to change, you've got to change your environment. You got to change the people you hang around and what you do on a daily basis. And, this is that opportunity to do something that really builds an exit strategy unlike anything we've seen before in the real estate business. So,
Man, well, it is game time. That is one thing I'm assured of. And so, Derek, hey, thank you for taking the time to share your story, man. And I think we'll wrap it up here. But until next time, we will see everybody on the beaches of the world. At least, and come
Puerto
join us
Rico,
in Puerto
baby.
Rico, man.
Hey, party in Puerto Rico. Y'all take
Yep.
care, Jimmy. Talk to you later, brother.
All righty. See you guys.